Hi, this is Cliff, and I'm going to share a recipe with you that's been in our family for 4 generations. Afflataa, you're going to love it. I learned this recipe from my dad, James Pelloni, who learned it from his dad, James Pelloni Sr., who learned it from his dad, my great-grandfather, Giovanni Pelloni, who we don't have a picture of, so this is a picture of our dog, Bella. This was a special recipe that we had only during Easter. From an ingredient standpoint, it's pretty simple. There's only 3 things: a dozen eggs, a pound of bacon, and an onion. So how can it not be great? Let's go ahead and prep our ingredients. We're gonna start by cracking and scrambling a dozen eggs, and then we're gonna dice our onion to about a 1/4 inch dice, and then we're gonna slice our bacon to about 1/2 inch. You wanna use regular sliced bacon, we don't use the thick stuff. Little tip, keep it cold in the refrigerator until you're ready to use it. It's gonna be easier to cut that way. We're gonna start our bacon in a cold pan like normal. We wanna cook it on medium-low for about 2 to 3 minutes so it renders some fat. We're gonna add the onions, which is gonna soak up a lot of that fat, and it's gonna be a wonderful flavor. We're gonna cook this mixture till the onions are starting to brown a little bit. Don't wanna caramelize, but a little crispy is fine. Now we're gonna add our eggs. You wanna stir this mixture so everything is combined, and then we can pull back the edges a little bit. But once it starts to firm up, we wanna take a spatula and we wanna start curving this, as you can see, where we wanna create a nice rounded edge. Once this is cooked for about 85% of the way through, you check the bottom that it's nice and brown, we've gotta do the flip. Put a plate on top, and with one nice motion, whoosh, you're gonna flip it over. Don't worry if you screw up, just pick up the pieces, put it back in the pan. It won't be as pretty, but it'll taste just as good. We're gonna put this back into the pan and then cook it for another 5 minutes or so until everything is firmed up. We wanna make sure the bottom is just as brown as the top. Then you can flip it back onto a board and serve it, or you can flip it onto a plate. Cut yourself a piece, little pepper, it's awesome. Some people say, hey Cliff, this is frittata, and I'm like, yeah, maybe, but you know what? That's kind of like saying tiramisu is just a really nice pudding. It's afflataa, and it's not just for Easter anymore.